There, now you're live. Does it say
You.
you
Yay.
are live on the screen for you?
Yes,
It does.
It says it. It says we are live.
We are live.
We're live.
Yes.
Welcome to our Tuesday night live stream of the Disney Crush podcast. We will be talking tonight about our favorite off-site accommodations, or some of our favorite off-site accommodations. Up places we've stayed, and hopefully we will hear from a special guest, Brenda. Not sure where she is right now. I did send her the link to join us, so hopefully she'll pop in soon. Right now we have a couple people watching. We'll give some people some time to join us. Did you have something you wanted to add, Dominic? Oh, he just wants to. I have a live audience like right in front of my face. Dominic.
You have a live audience. That's cool.
Wow.
He's literally sitting in front of me watching me. No pressure.
We have a
Nope.
live audience. It consists of our dog, Hunter.
Sleeping
That's
at our
about as
feet.
good as it gets over here.
I know.
Mhm.
So, well, Tony Ann, we're talking about off-site accommodations.
Off-site accommodations. Now,
Yep.
you know, a lot of people say, "Oh, you stay off-site, you lose so much of the magic."
Really?
But well, that's what they say.
I know. We were there. We used to do it. We used to say the same thing. Dave wouldn't stay off property in the beginning. And he would call me. I'd be driving to work on a Thursday. And he would, hi, Uli. And he would say, do you want to do Disney this weekend? And I would immediately hang up with him and call the Disney phone number
Mm-hmm.
to get us a room on property.
Yep.
Before I got to work, it was all worked out and we were good to go. But I wouldn't think about staying
But
off property.
it gets really expensive after a while because even the cheapest value rooms now are often over $200 a night. And
Yep.
Sometimes staying off-site, especially being that we have teenagers that don't want to sleep in the same bed, so we often need 3 beds. It makes it a lot cheaper to stay off-site. And I think I see somebody just joined our stream. There she is. Brenda, can you hear us?
Hi, guys.
Oh,
I can hear you.
we hear you too. Okay.
Hello.
Hey, Brenda.
Hi. How
You
are
all
y'all?
cute. Oh my gosh. Look at the ears and
I
all.
wore my ears for you.
Wow, look at you.
I know. I love it.
So, Brenda, we were just talking about the fact that staying off-site saves money in most cases.
Yes.
And if you have a
Right.
large group, sometimes sometimes for some families, it's the only really affordable way to go to Disney. And I would imagine for you, because we tease you a lot about the fact that you're there more than we are, and you live in Virginia. But I think
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe you're a bazillionaire. I don't know. But I would imagine that one of the reasons you're able to go so often is because you are willing to stay off-site.
Right. So we started staying off site. Originally, we prefer to stay on site.
Mm-hmm.
So our whole history was, but we drive to Disney. So we started staying off site a night here and there. Like if we would get to sometimes we would drive through the night, or we would get there really late at night. And so we started booking rooms on the front or the back end of our trip to kind of extend our stay based on when we were driving in or when we were leaving. So that's kind of how it all started. And then last August, we stayed at Bay Lake Tower, and we knew that my parents would be coming back for a whole month just this past February. So we got annual passes. And so this year has been really the year of exploring lots of off-site options, because if you can save money by staying off-site, then you can go more often.
Right.
So we've found a few places that we really like, and the condo experience in February was really interesting. And I don't know. I mean, if I was a bazillionaire, I would absolutely prefer to stay on site all the time. But when you have an annual pass and you have the option of going 4 or 5 times a year versus maybe 2 times a year, it's appealing to go more often.
Right.
And when you get to go more often, you're not as concerned with things like using extra magic hours or utilizing Disney transportation. If you're driving there, you have your own car already. So staying offsite is a great option for us. And then, we have 5 people in our immediate family. There's me, my husband, and our 3 kids.
Right.
Our oldest is 13. And so we're really sort of at the end of being able to survive for a week with 1 bathroom. So that's another thing, is that just for a family of 5, it's hard to find a place on site that will work, that will accommodate a family of 5. Last Christmas, we stayed, I guess it's 2018, we stayed at Beach Club, which was wonderful to be so close to Epcot. But we stayed in I guess they call it a studio. And there were places for each of us to sleep, but that was about it. There wasn't a whole lot of storage. There was one bathroom, and it was great, but it's hard to justify the cost and then the inconvenience of trying to stagger your showers every morning. And so, and then lots of times we travel with my parents and my,
that's what that picture is there, right?
Yeah. And my dad has Crohn's disease, so it's important for him to have kind of his own private bathroom area.
That's understandable.
And it's always been that way when we've traveled with him, to try to make sure that he's comfortable and he has his own space. But you can't find that many places on Disney property that have 3 bathrooms. We actually did stay at Bay Lake Tower in a 2-bedroom last summer, and it was wonderful. And it does have 3 bathrooms. It was fantastic, but it was really, really expensive, and you can't do that every single time. So so we've found some great places offsite that we really like.
Okay, so let's talk about some of unfortunately, this stupid program doesn't let me load the pictures in the exact order you sent them to me.
Oh, that's right. It doesn't matter.
So we'll figure it out. We'll see. Okay, so we had so I think that one is Staybridge. That's one of the first places that we've stayed. It's probably the closest to Disney of the offsite places that we stayed. It's more on the Disney Springs side of things. Okay.
And we get a 2-bedroom unit, 2 beds, 2 baths, full kitchen, and then there's a pull-out sofa in the living room area.
Is that the same place?
Yeah, that's Staybridge. And it's not luxurious, but it's clean and there's plenty of space. And we've booked it for like $100 to $125 a night. So when we're splitting that between, 2 families, me and my parents, it's great. It's a great value.
So how many bedrooms was this unit?
It's 2. So there's 1 bedroom with a king bed and a full bath. And then there's 1 bedroom with 2 queens and a full bath. Wow, and then the sofa in the living room pulls out.
Nice.
So we usually put the teenager on the pull-out sofa and then put the little kids together in one of the queen beds.
Right.
So it's nice. And it's nice that the living area separates the 2 bedrooms.
Right. So you're not right on top of each other.
Exactly. And then the bathroom areas are separate. So, and the kitchen has a stove and microwave and refrigerator and all that jazz.
That picture doesn't go with that.
That was different. Yeah. So it's great. And it's very close. It's really close to, I don't know if it's really close to the, I'm not really sure how to describe it. I never actually do the driving, but there's a welcome sign into Disney.
Yeah.
Like on the other, it's close to that welcome sign. Is that iDrive over there where all those?
No, you're talking about where you actually come in close to Disney Springs?
Yes.
Okay,
it's on that side.
That's
very close to that.
That I'm going to talk about what is the name of the Buena Vista Suites, where I stayed with Rich in March.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
the same entry point. And it
Okay.
is very convenient to
Mhm.
property. I couldn't believe, is that the pool to Staybridge? Is that, I think that's.
Yes, that's
okay.
that's the pool. And I
Okay.
think that's a stock photo from their website. I'm not sure
Yeah.
that the pool actually looks that great in person, but it's a good sized pool. And we've stayed there 2 or 3 times now. It's always very clean. We've been really happy with it. So
Okay.
I would definitely recommend that one.
That looks great. I love the room,
Yeah.
the colors in it and everything.
When
Yeah.
you go
And-
when you
ahead.
go there, how many nights about do you stay? I mean, do you get to utilize the kitchen? Are you staying for 3 days?
No, for that
or
one,
this is
the most we've ever stayed there is 1 night. So that's
Okay.
sort of
Okay.
the front or back end of our trip.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
That's
we
nice.
were able to book it for our December 2018 trip, and it was just the 5 of us who were going then. And I think it was like $99 a night for the 2 bedrooms, which in December, I mean, that's a great price. And I think we booked through hotels.com or Priceline or something. So you do have to check all of the third-party websites and then check the hotel website itself to make sure you're getting the best rate. But
Right.
we've been really happy with it. And, like I said, it's not luxurious, but it's fully functional,
Yeah.
very clean, and really great for a short stay, especially.
Okay. So Uli and Amy are just asking for confirmation. That is Staybridge Suites.
Yes. Yeah.
And that is that on World Drive? Because I know Buena Vista Suites is on World Drive. That's the name of that road that leads in
Let me
there.
look it up real quick.
Okay. While we're in that area, while you're looking that up, I'll show you guys the pictures that I took at Buena Vista Suites, which is on World Drive, World Center Drive, which when you drive in onto property, it turns into Epcot Center Drive. You come in right there next to Bonnet Creek, very close to Epcot, very close to Caribbean Beach Resort, very close to Disney Springs. I want to say it was like a 5-minute drive, and we were on property. That's the lobby. We were in it's a 1-bedroom, but it's a suite. So there is a separate living area, and that couch pulls out to a queen size bed. And then it also has that chaise, which, has a TV in the living room with a microwave, a coffee pot, and there's a fridge underneath the microwave. And then a separate separate sleeping area. This was a 2-queen room. And that had a television set in it as well. So there were 2 TVs, but I guess I didn't take a picture of that second TV. It's a TV. But the thing that blew us away was the breakfast the next morning, which was included for free. Was they had a full buffet, and we paid, I want to say $99 a night. We got it through the Diz boards, WDW info. But once we got on their mailing list, they started sending me promotions so that I could book it for $99 a night directly. And I think, Veronica, you had booked a special, but now we don't know. That's up in the air.
Well, I canceled it. It was during the quarantine time.
Oh, okay. So it's over, right? It's already passed.
It's over.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But we were going to go with you. Yeah.
Yeah. The thing, it had juice. They even had soda on the buffet, but was really impressed by the chocolate.
Unusual.
They had chocolate milk.
Nice.
And eggs to order, sunny side up or over easy.
Now that's good. I like that.
Yeah. So it was nice, and it was $99 a night, and it was 2 queen size beds and a pull out queen size couch. And I thought I had pictures of the pool, but I guess I don't. So but that's also in that same area, World Center Drive. You come in very close to Epcot, very close to Disney Springs.
Yeah, I'm looking.
It would. That breakfast would cost $100.
Yep, sure.
I'm looking at Staybridge on the map. I see Univista. It's on some side road.
It might be on a side road. It's
off of South Apopka Vineland Road.
Okay.
And there's Best Western or Radisson and
Yeah.
Spring Hill Suites.
I think it's the same area. I think that street is close.
Gavin's brushing his teeth and going to bed.
Good night, Gavin.
But it's really close to Disney Springs. I mean, if you're looking at the map, the Rainforest Cafe is really, it's just it's very close to, I mean, it's maybe 5 minutes away from Disney Springs.
Yeah.
It's super close. So it's a great location. I can't find the one you're talking about. It must be on, I don't know. Disney maps confuse me.
Yeah. It's okay, but it's very close.
Yes.
All right. So you had another place you wanted to tell us about, and that is now. When you go to Windsor, are you in an actual house, or is it a condo, or is it a?
Yeah. So
townhome?
my parents rented a townhouse in February. It was the Windsor at Westside, and the pictures that I sent you that you're going to show. So we had a condo in the same complex booked for this summer for 2 weeks, and I actually canceled it a couple weeks ago because I'm just not really sure how this summer is going to shake out. But I didn't have any pictures of my parents' condo, but the one that we rented was very similar. It was just sort of a coincidence that we ended up in the same complex. But it was a 5-bedroom, 4-bath condo, had a small private pool out back. And it was not super close to Disney. It was maybe a 20, 25-minute drive. It's on more of the Animal Kingdom side than the Disney Springs side. So, and I timed it. You kind of drive past that Margaritaville development on the way to Animal Kingdom. And it's about 10 minutes away from Margaritaville. So Margaritaville is quite a bit closer.
Yeah.
But this one's quite a bit cheaper.
I'm wondering, is it actually in Davenport? Is that where it is? Because
I think it's in Kissimmee. I think Kissimmee is the zip code. Yeah. So, but we had rented the 5-bed, 4-bath condo. Oh, and I included this picture because a lot of them have Disney themed rooms. So this is like a Mickey Mouse, Minnie Mouse room. And what?
No, I was gonna say it probably just depends on who owns the actual unit, right?
Yes, yeah, for sure. But the one that we had rented for the summer, it was we were going to pay like $3,500 for 15 nights.
Wow.
For a 5-bedroom, 4-bath condo.
Wow.
So, if you really want to stretch your money, it's a great option. And it wasn't ideal to have to drive to and from the parks. 20 minutes, 25 minutes every time. But, I think a lot of people kind of like that, to have that sort of escape, to get away. So exactly. So we had a couple down days in February. And, like I said, if you're going to try to go more often and spend your money on, let's say, dining or special event tickets or something like that, maybe put your money towards those special things instead of accommodations. So,
absolutely.
So we didn't hate it. I kind of regret that we had to cancel for the summer because we were looking forward to it. I'm not quite sure what we're going to do for our instead, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah. You would have been able to, kind of take a different approach. I always joke with you because you're a go.
Yeah.
Rope drop to fireworks girl. And I've been telling you for a while now, you got to slow down.
Yeah. We were kind of looking forward to having a low key 2 weeks to kind of do our thing and relax a few days. But
you would have had time to explore the area, other places.
Exactly. Yeah. But we'll get back. And we were there for maybe 10 days in February. So we actually did work. When you're far away from the parks, you're not inclined to go to Epcot at the last minute just because they have extra magic hours. Whereas that's what we did when we were at the beach club. We would get back to the hotel at 9 o'clock and say, well, Epcot's open till midnight. We should run over there and do a few things. Well, you're not going to do that if you're in a condo. So it changes your whole schedule and the feel of your vacation. But for a longer trip, especially if you're trying to to stretch your money, it's a great option. So, and I will say, so I think my parents booked through VRBO. We booked through VRBO. I have some concerns just in general about booking a condo, because you're booking from an owner versus a hotel manager. Yeah.
Right.
So my advice is, read the reviews, of course, on VRBO, but also read the reviews for the property management company, because when you get there, you're not going to deal with the owner if there's a problem. You're going to deal with the property management company. So figure out who the property is managed by, and then read the reviews online for the property management company, and make sure that you're comfortable with the status of the property management company. So you don't get there and find out that it's really dirty or that things are broken, and then that's going to put a damper on your whole trip. And then also you want to check, a lot of these condos are booked through third-party websites. You just want to check and make sure that you know what the cancellation policy is. We booked this particular condo back in November, not really knowing, COVID-19 aside, not really knowing how things would pan out for the summer. So I was sure to book something that had a 100% refund guarantee if we canceled within a certain time frame. So you just want to be careful when you're booking through a third party. It just complicates everything a little bit. Right. So that's just what I would suggest for a now, if you're booking 2 weeks ahead of time, the cancellation policy doesn't really matter, because you're pretty sure you're going to go. But it's just a little bit different when you're booking a condo that's owned by a person versus renting a hotel room that's owned by a hotel company.
Big corporation.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So Amy Beckner had a question for you.
Okay.
When you stay off site, do you ever leave the parks and go back, or do you just go open to close?
It depends on the day. It depends on what we're trying to do. When we're staying on site, we almost always make use of extra magic hours. And when you're staying off site, you kind of do the opposite. You go to the parks that don't have morning extra magic hours. And so that shortens your day in general. But there were a few times when we would leave and come back. You just kind of have to plan around it. So when we were at the condo, it was February, but it was really hot still.
Really?
And it was an unusually warm week there in February. And there were a couple of days when we took a break and we went back and went to a different park or did something different for dinner. But you have to factor in your travel time. Mm-hmm. So, which in some ways, so when we in our car, Magic Kingdom is the worst, because you have to park, you have to get on the monorail or the boat, go through the transportation ticket center. All the other parks are pretty easy to leave and come back. If you're staying on property and you're taking a bus, sometimes it can take 45 minutes by the time you're waiting for the bus and getting back to your resort. So if you can get out to your car and jump in your car and get back to your resort in 20 or 25 minutes, in some ways you're not spending any more time in travel than you would if you were staying on property, except for if you're staying at a resort that's right by one of the parks. So
that is one thing that, no matter how many arguments I get with people on Facebook, I can't convince people that driving is actually quicker. I'm like, okay, one day, if you have a car, one day you leave your hotel room and you go in the car and you have your husband go in the bus and see who gets there first. And the person in the car is good, because when you walk from your hotel room to the bus stop and then you wait for the bus and then you have it, the person driving is going to get there first, especially if the car.
Well, they're all super easy. When you're driving, I think there's certain times that are bad to arrive. So if you don't get to Animal Kingdom when it opens, you might as well just not bother until about 1 p.m, because the parking lot is just bananas if you miss that opening time. We've made that mistake a couple of times. And really same for, I mean, Epcot, you can go anytime you want. I think Hollywood Studios is pretty much the same. Magic Kingdom can get a little bit backed up at the bag check, even if you, can get into the parking lot. But I think when you're staying offsite, your strategy really is just to go on the days where they don't have extra magic hours, plan to get there when they open. And if you can't manage that, then abort mission, come up with some other plan, because then you will be in traffic for a while. But it's really not bad if you make your schedule around knowing that you need to get to the parks when they open and that you can't use the extra magic hours.
Right. So Veronica, one of the things you were telling me is that when you stay off site, one of the things that you look at is the cancellation policy.
Yes. Yeah. And a lot of times the room is more money per night, depending, if you have cancellation or, non-refundable room, is usually a few dollars cheaper, but it's important that we could cancel. Having a 16-year-old and an 18-year-old, anything could happen before the weekend hits, for sure.
Right.
You know that. So we pay the extra, and it's always refundable, no matter what. So yeah, I definitely look for that.
The thing that you were talking about, Brenda, with when you're renting from an individual, is one of my fears right now, because one of our favorite places to stay is Wyndham Bonnet Creek, and the best deals we can get at Wyndham Bonnet Creek are when we rent it off of eBay. I wanted to share. This is Dave and I talk about the five pools and the 2 lazy rivers, and there's Michael in the lazy river.
Yep.
But I did want to just give people a glimpse of what we're talking about, the level of accommodations. So I'm going to I'm going to add this to let's see if we can get this to play. So what we're looking at here is this is a 2-bedroom. This is when we stayed in the 2-bedroom, and I apologize because I moved really quick. Then we go into the master bedroom, which is I think it's a king size. Yeah. All the bedrooms have their own TVs, and where are we going? Maybe I didn't move too quick. There's a balcony, and every room has a balcony. This particular room has a hot tub, not a hot tub, a jacuzzi.
Garden tub.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. The kids used to like to go in there and put bubbles in it and make a mess in the bathroom. And then you have the shower too. And there's me and Mike. And Veronica and I love this place. And Dave likes the hot tub. We figured out there's 9 hot tubs at Wyndham Bonnet Creek.
Yep.
There's 5 pools, there's 2 water slides, and there's 2 lazy rivers. And it is literally right between Caribbean Beach Resort and Typhoon Lagoon. The living room has another TV. Depending on the type of unit you get, there's a pull-out couch, and then beautiful kitchens. These are presidential suites, so they have stainless steel appliances. And I think that's about all I got on this video. Oh, yeah.
They have full washer dryer set up in there as well.
Right. Because I didn't go down the other hallway when I took this video, because I was giving you guys your privacy. But down the hallway where your bedroom was where the washer dryer is. And I sometimes on our last night like to do a load of laundry, so I go home with clean clothes. Because I usually stretch out my vacation to the last possible minute, so I go back to work the next day, so I don't have to do laundry.
I was trying to figure out
if there is a washer and dryer, I'm gonna use it.
Absolutely.
Can't not do it.
Yeah, even if they're not dirty, you're just gonna throw something in there anyway. Just
right.
That's after we messed up the kitchen. Yeah, but and they have game rooms. Almost every building has its own game room, and. Now, Amber, that was only a 2-bedroom. A lot of times we'll stay in a 3-bedroom, especially because Olivia likes to bring friends. So we'll stay in an even bigger unit. And the best part is there, we have a full balcony, and sometimes I'll wake up early and go stand in the go sit on the balcony, and that's my view. Disney Springs.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, it's right there. So we love it. So,
And there's a lot of other things as well. There's miniature golf.
oh yeah,
Just
activities.
The water side. So movies outside. There's anything that any of the buildings have, you are welcome to use at no charge.
Right. There's entertainment. A lot of times there's like there's pool bars, and sometimes at night there'll be entertainers and stuff. So yeah. But the thing is that's troublesome to me is that I'm not sure how this virus. I got to see people who lost money because when you're renting from a private person. It makes
it's been interesting to see how, and I think everybody is doing their best to handle all of it. But when you add a third party to it, even the people who have booked Disney reservations through, let's say, Priceline or some of those other third party sites,
hotels,
it complicates matters, because you have to get your refund from the website that you booked through.
Right.
And, under normal circumstances, that's not usually a problem. But, especially for anybody who's looking to book within the next, I would say 2, 3, 4, I don't know, 12 months, who knows?
We don't know.
You just have to be extra careful. Disney has a great cancellation policy just in general, that if you pay your $200 deposit, and if you have to cancel up to 30 days in advance, it's a full refund, and you don't owe them any more money.
Right.
And so that gives you a lot of peace of mind, especially if you're booking your whole package that includes your tickets, your dining, all of it is refundable. Once you start looking at these third party options, it gets much more complicated. But at the same time, if you're looking at off-site properties, presumably your goal is to save money. So you do have to check all of the different places, even if you're, and it's a little bit frustrating. When we booked we went on a cruise for Christmas. Mm-hmm. It wasn't a Disney cruise, it was a Norwegian cruise, but we had our annual passes. So we decided that we were going to do Disney for a couple days after the cruise. And so we're trying to get a good deal. Our go-to Staybridge wasn't available, and that's how we found the Berkeley. But I searched for hours and hours and hours on all of these third-party sites, and they all have different prices and different availability. Right. And it can get very frustrating when you're looking for an off-site property. And I think that's maybe why some folks don't consider it, because it's just so much easier to go to the Disney website and see what they have and just book. It's much less time consuming.
So let's talk about the Berkeley, because you mentioned that. Now you weren't swimming in December, right?
We did. We swam one day in December. Yeah, we had some good weather. And so this was another AP bonus trip. We were going to sort of a funny story. So we went on a cruise, and we decided we were going to stay for a couple days after the cruise. Well, my husband actually got laid off in December, and so he didn't really have any work to do the rest of the month of December. So we decided to extend our Disney trip and stay for New Year's. So we rang in the New Year at Disney, and we added a few days to our Berkeley reservation.
Okay.
And I was a little bit nervous because we'd never stayed there before, and we had then at that point committed to being there for about a week. But it was great. It was really, really great. The rooms are gigantic. The closets are gigantic. The kitchen was huge. It's definitely a great option, and I would prefer it over Staybridge, really, if you're going for more of an extended trip, a week or 10 days, because there's just more space. And so we rented a 3-bedroom unit. It was 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, 2 master bedrooms with attached baths, and then there was like another bedroom that had 2 twin beds with a bedroom close to it. So, and then a pull-out couch in the living room. So I think technically it sleeps 8, but it was plenty of room for all 7 of us. And it was, I would say, 10 to 15 minutes away from Disney. And it was, this one's on the Animal Kingdom side.
Right.
So
This one,
maybe.
this one you would, you'd take the Sherbeth Road, or you take Black Hills, the back road, that service road.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and we paid about $200 a night for 3 bedrooms, three bathrooms, full kitchen, washer and dryer. It was really fantastic. So we really liked this. And I think, for a short trip, I don't know that you need to spend $200 a night if you're going to stay off site, but for a more extended stay, this is something like, I would prefer something like this. This is what actually we had booked for our spring break trip that we had to cancel.
Oh.
So, and
you would go back.
So you can, I would, absolutely. We were planning to go back. And so here's another tip. So we had originally booked this through hotels.com, but then I checked the Berkeley website itself, and it was cheaper to book through the Berkeley.
Okay.
So like Veronica was saying, sometimes you pay more through these third parties to get the free cancellation. So I had booked through hotels.com with free cancellation. So I canceled it for free and then rebooked through the Berkeley. And the Berkeley, when you book through them, has a 90% refund policy, which they're giving 100% back now because of the COVID thing. But if you know that you're going to go, if you're pretty sure you're going to go, then you can save a little bit of money by booking through them directly. So I highly recommend the Berkeley. They're great. They're really accommodating, very nice. And they run it more like a timeshare where they only come clean every 3 days and that kind of thing. But we really, really do like it.
Yeah. Now that's something, I'm glad you said that, because that is something you have to keep in mind if you are renting an offsite timeshare rental, a condo, a private home rental, VRBO. You're not going to have turn down service. You're going to have to make your own bed.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, that was my biggest reservation about the condo we had booked for the summer. I don't want to have to clean and make the beds. And I thought as we got closer, if we were really going to commit to it, if we could maybe get the cleaning service to come in like halfway through, if we would pay them to come and clean after a week, but we ended up canceling, so it doesn't matter. But that is definitely something to think about. You're going to use that washer and dryer because there's nobody coming to clean your sheets and your towels for you.
Yeah. So Uli wants to know if you have an annual pass. I think you said you do.
Yes, we do.
Parking is free for annual pass holders, and it's $25 a day if you're not an annual pass holder. So if you're staying off site, that is something you have to think about is parking.
Yeah, and I will also add, so we have annual passes, and we haven't quite decided. Ours are set to expire August 2nd before the closure, so I'm not quite sure what we'll do, but we also have Tables in Wonderland, and which includes free valet parking.
Right.
So we were talking about the parking situation for Magic Kingdom and how it's harder to drive and get to places on time. So one trick is to make a dining reservation at Contemporary, for example, and then park there and then walk to Magic Kingdom. And you can do the same for any of the monorail resorts, or we've done it for the boardwalk.
Right.
Yeah. Beach Club.
Yes, Uli. If you pay to park at Magic Kingdom, keep the receipt, and when you leave, you can come back to Epcot or Hollywood or wherever and show the receipt that you already paid for parking today, and that's it. You only pay for parking once when you pay for parking. Now, Veronica and I, sometimes when we'll stay off site, when we want to go to Magic Kingdom, we'll Uber to the Poly, and we'll take
that's a good idea too.
And we'll take the monorail in. or the boat in. We'll go to one of the monorail resorts by Uber, and then
Yeah.
because if we're going at night, a lot of
Yeah.
times we might be having a cocktail, so we Uber at night.
My mom might be
Of
watching.
course.
Your mom's having a cocktail.
She probably is right now. I know.
Yeah,
Hello, Mom.
I would say that probably in the last year and a half, we really utilized Uber and Lyft a lot.
Mhm.
Yeah.
More than normal.
Especially for the trips back. In the morning, we'll drive, and then like back to Amy's question. In the morning, we'll drive, and then we'll go back to the hotel in the afternoon. And after, in the evening when we go back, we'll usually Uber back. So.
And even
Yeah.
from, so the Windsor at Westside, like I said, it was about 25 minutes to drive. And Uber from there really isn't more than, I don't know, 15 or 20 bucks, because we only had 2 cars between, who else? There were some other people there. We had, my brother was there.
Random people there.
So just people showed up. But we had some situations where we were trying to figure out how to get different people to different places. Yeah. And there was one day where the boys ended up Ubering to golf, and then so the girls could have the car and that kind of thing. So even an Uber from an offsite property isn't even that expensive.
Yeah, we Ubered from Comfort Suites. That's Comfort Suites main gate. We went there. Veronica and I went there with our other sister-in-law, Candy. And the thing we liked about that was, again, we had 3 beds because, we didn't want to sleep in the same bed because, nobody wants to sleep in the same bed as me. So.
Well, Candy was never away with us, so she didn't know what to expect. Yeah. Candy, we couldn't have her in the same bed, too.
The newish, it's been a couple of years now, but she's the newish family member.
Oh.
So we went to the Comfort Suites main gate. Veronica, what do we typically pay there at Comfort Suites?
Maybe 120, 110.
Yeah, and that's right behind, what do you call that place?
The fun spot?
The fun spot.
It's a fun spot with the go-karts and all that. It's right behind that. Yeah. And that was my mom calling, just so you know. Hi, Mom.
Have a cocktail?
Probably.
And the nice thing about and I don't have a picture of the breakfast. They had another free full breakfast.
Oh, nice.
Waffles and eggs, and every day there was a different kind of breakfast meat. There were hard-boiled eggs, there were scrambled eggs, there were baked beans, which is for our Canadian and English friends. But
that was one of the nicer breakfasts that I've seen. So yeah, it was nice.
So, Veronica, what's your experience with Hotels.com with canceling? Because you've had to cancel. Because
Hotels.com, I like Hotels.com. First, I've gotten free hotels more than once because, it's every 10 nights. You get one free, no problem. I have had some issues with them, and you call the 800 number, they take care of it. One time there was a mix-up. They immediately gave me $100 credit on my account to use the next time I booked wherever I wanted. They seem to be very accommodating. They'll put you on hold and call the hotel. I have not had, I can't say a negative thing about Hotels.com. That's my go-to.
So you had an issue when you arrived. So you're standing there with your family and your bags, and something went wrong, and they helped you?
Yes. Well, no, I got
there. That's really my worst nightmare.
No. They had a room for me. Well, what happened? It was the first time I ever stayed at Baymont, actually. And I booked the hotel, and I booked, I don't know, their standard room. It's 2 queen beds. It was just for one night. That was it. A place to sleep.
Right.
And they charged me more when I got there, telling me that was their queen suite. So I said, wait a minute, this is your standard room. And they actually argued with me. Right. And it was the craziest thing. So I wound up getting the difference back.
Okay.
And then Hotels.com gave me a credit as well.
Okay.
Just for the phone calls and all the crazy. But, that wasn't Hotel.com's issue. So right, but they still went above and beyond.
And the thing that you a little pro tip about hotels.com is you can buy gift cards for hotels.com at a discount at Sam's Club. And I'm not sure about Costco and BJ's, but I know it's Sam's Club, and I'm talking like $5. So maybe it's $100 gift card for $95. But hey, it's $5. That's as far as I'm concerned.
There are also lots of cashback apps that will offer
Mhm.
cashback for hotels.com or
Mhm.
Priceline. And so I mean, it really can get pretty complicated once you start shopping around. But again, like I was saying, presumably if you're staying off site, you want to save money. So you want to save the most money possible.
Yeah.
And it can get a little bit crazy if you start nickel and diming.
If you go on like Hotwire or Priceline and they have the secret deals and you can get the map and you can narrow it down to the Bonnet Creek area. That's that's where the Disney hotels are. And then you try to figure out what hotel it is.
Exactly.
But you can, and there are apps that help you figure it out. But those are non-refundable when you buy those secret deals. So you got to keep that in mind.
Yeah.
The thing with Hotwire, at least it used to be, now things might change after all this. You go to Hotwire, you go to the secret deals, you go to the Bonnet Creek area, and if there is free hotel shuttle and no resort fee, there's a good chance it's a Disney resort, because that's the Magical Express, and Disney does not charge a resort fee. But and there's no free breakfast. So if there's free breakfast, it's not Disney.
Not Disney. No. The thing with hotels.com, I try to book in advance as far as I can. And then I continue to look, because there's always deals on there for the same hotel. 60% off, just crazy things. So you just have to keep checking back.
Right.
And that's it,
See, now for the bonds, Amanda's saying that, that Magical Express makes a big difference for them. When all the kids go, she's a family of 5, and if she's got to figure out the cost of airport transfers for her family, it's the Disney resorts become a no-brainer because of that free Magical Express.
Right. Was she saying they do drive or they don't drive?
Driving 20 hours and the cost of meals.
On
the way. Okay.
Right. If they were to drive, so they usually do fly.
Well, we're 12. Ours is about a 12-hour drive. We don't feed our kids on the whole drive, so we save money that way.
How dare you?
When I was a kid, we drove from Long Island in my father's Cadillac, and he packed the cooler, and we ate, whatever was in the cooler. That's
peanut butter sandwich.
Right.
Yeah, we'll feed you when we get to Disney.
Chicken and hard-boiled eggs. Hello.
We had cold fried.
And my mother's laughing right now. She knows I'm telling the truth.
There was a rest stop in New Jersey, and I knew when we got to New Jersey, we could have the cold fried chicken.
Yeah, we've really gotten pretty efficient in our driving, because on the way down, everyone's so excited they don't want to stop, and then on the way back, they're so tired they sleep the whole way. So we don't eat on the way there. We don't eat on the way back. I mean, it's great.
Yep.
Now, Beth wants to know about the two things we just talked about, Tony Ann. Was it a free shuttle to the parks and airport transportation included?
Yeah. Well, when you stay on property at Disney, we're talking about the Magical Express, which takes you straight from the airport to the hotel. So you do have to figure in that cost, because you're going to have to figure out a way to get from the airport, if you're flying in, how to get from the airport to your hotel if you're not staying on Disney property. So you have to figure in that. You have to figure in the cost of parking at the parks if you're not an annual pass holder. So, and you have to make sure, you have to read the fine print and see if the resort charges for parking, if the resort charges any resort fees. Some of them do, some of them don't. So, Veronica, how much does the Baymont charge now for a resort fee? Is it like, it's not phenomenal, right? It's not that much, right?
It might be $10 a day.
Yeah. When I stayed at Buena Vista Suites, it was $15 a day, but the breakfast alone was worth that. $7.50 for each of us, and if we had the kids and everything, $15 for the whole room to eat breakfast was
right. Baymont. Let's say the breakfast is okay. It's great to grab they don't even have bananas. It's great to grab something and go, but it's certainly not the breakfast that you were looking at pictures of, for sure. I mean, it's scrambled eggs and sausage and you go.
Yeah.
So
but you're also right. You're right. Literally walking distance to McDonald's.
yes. And for my kids, they want to stay at Baymont because my son will walk to McDonald's and eat cheeseburgers all weekend. He's so good.
And
He's
now
happy.
that McDonald's charge regular McDonald's prices. It's not like it's not
No, it's the normal.
No, it's a regular McDonald's.
McDonald's prices. Okay, so
the kids go to McDonald's, and then Veronica and I will go to Bonefish. So it works out great.
I know, we're good.
There's a Bonefish right there. Yep,
right down the service road.
Right down the service road. There's a Bonefish. So
yeah.
And there was another place you went with your mom. Didn't you go to?
That's the Magic Moments. That's not that close to the parks, I can tell you that, but it's very clean. It's updated.
And you said they didn't have swans.
Very simple.
They said you said in your room there were no swans.
No, there were no swans.
That's a picture they posted on there.
Right.
Yeah.
Advertising.
Yeah.
But no, I've stayed there a couple times, and
it's your.
I like it. Yeah. And they actually have security gates that open and close when you drive up, I like it.
It's nice.
They have a decent breakfast, but they charge.
No, they don't charge, but you have to schedule a time.
Oh, that's what it is. Okay.
So when you check in, they want to know, are you coming 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock? Because it's not a large area.
Okay.
And they try, I guess, to space it out. But it's a nice breakfast. I mean, that's all it is. It's a room and a bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, nothing fancy. But if you get it, they've remodeled some rooms to have hardwood floors.
Mm-hmm.
So it's clean. It's nice.
Where is that one?
And that's on, what is it? I-92?
Yeah.
It's right by the Machine Gun Museum.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that one.
Oh, yeah.
We haven't been there yet.
I'll put that on my to-do list.
Well, that may be a way to get Rich to come on the Disney Crush is to do machine guns.
Yes. Yeah.
It was tempting. I'm like, honey, there's machine guns.
No.
But if you look at the billboards, they have these girls in bikinis holding machine guns.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. No.
I'm a teenager now. You might be into that. I don't know.
I know, right? But it's okay. I don't know. I found that on hotels.com and I went there with my mom. And since then, Dave and I have spent 1 or 2 nights there. Just spur of the moment. We don't feel like driving home, essentially.
So you said one of the things you liked about Magical Moments, you had told me was you have your own dedicated parking space right outside your room.
In one of the buildings, yes. Not all of the buildings, but when I went with my mom, we had a reserved spot out our front door.
Wow.
Which actually was really nice because when we come home at other resorts we stay at, oh man, we need to find parking, and a lot of times we don't park close to our room.
Now Beth
that was nice.
Beth was just saying that she likes where's her comment, Dave?
Sheraton
Vistana Villas. That is a place that the Diz boards used to push a lot. They used to really push them, and they had deals on WDW info. I'm not sure if they still do or not. She likes the one. It's very close to Epcot. Yeah, it's right down the street from Disney Springs. I've driven past it, and I have a friend that used to go there every summer. And she didn't used to go there to go to the park. She would go there to go to the pools with her kids, much the way same we go to Wyndham.
Yeah. And it's funny. I don't try too many new places. I think you get in your, you get your few favorites. And then between those, I look to see which is the least expensive for when I want to go. That's really what it's coming down to now. We have to take account. We have the dog sitter.
Right.
We have just other things that kind of go into us even going for a weekend. So if I could look at 3 hotels, they're available. I'll pick the least expensive, and I don't put too much thought into it.
Yeah.
Which, I mean,
now,
I probably could put a little more thought into it.
I think I'm the same way, Veronica.
Yeah.
So we have, with our bathroom situation, we're always looking for either a suite that has 2 bathrooms, or we're looking to book 2 rooms, and it's it's almost always cheaper to book a suite, a 2-bedroom suite with 2 bathrooms or more than it is to book 2 rooms. And it gets very complicated to book 2 rooms through a third-party website because it's hard. You can't really connect them or tell them that you want them adjoining, and we can't have the kids staying on one. I mean, we guess we could have the kids staying on one side of the hotel and us staying on the other. That might actually be really great, but there's no way to guarantee that they'll be together, and that's the whole point of vacationing together, is that we're all together. So we're limited in our options, and I feel like we've kind of zeroed in on the places that work for us. And so I just kind of check and see what the best price is for. But I think you're right. Like, once you know where you want to be, what your price range is, what your criteria are in terms of you want a free breakfast or you want free parking or no resort fee and that kind of thing, you can pretty easily narrow it down, because I think that a lot of places are similar to one another. You know, that a Best Western is much different from a Holiday Inn unless there's specific amenities that you're looking for.
Now, Beth was just commenting she liked the 0 entry pool for her little ones. Wyndham Bonnet Creek, where we stay, has a few of the pools have the 0 entry where you just walk. I know the Lazy River by the pirate ship has the 0 entry, and I think the pirate ship pool itself, is that 0 entry?
I think it does. Yes, it is.
Yeah,
and I think she was asking earlier about is it have any kind of Disney theming to it at Bonnet Creek, and it's a timeshare, so it really doesn't. No, there's not. It's not. There's nothing that's really Disney themed there too much, but we don't miss it. It's okay. But you know what? In the gift shop, I think I bought some Disney pajamas there. Yeah.
The funny thing, he's like, go ahead. The joke is about the pajamas. I really wanted them, and they were, I don't know, $35 for pajama pants and the matching top, and it was really cool to have. And you could still right now, and that was 5 years ago. You could still right now go to Walgreens near any Walgreens in Orlando and buy those for $12.
Right.
So there you go.
So that's been the running joke.
So don't
buy anything there.
My Disney theming at Bonnet Creek is the balcony, because that's usually the side we wind up on. I don't have a picture. My mother's room, when she stayed in a separate unit from us a couple years back. Her unit faced the other way, and she had a view of Tower of Terror. And do you remember that? She was her view was incredible. She could see like all of Hollywood Studios. We could have watched the Hollywood Studios fireworks from her balcony. And I know that one of the weekends we were there, they actually told us when we checked in, go to building 3 at 9:00, and we opened up the penthouse, and people can come. You can go watch the fireworks. And now I don't know if they do that all the time or if they were just doing it that weekend, but they were inviting people to go to the penthouse to watch the fireworks. There's a few places at Bonnet Creek where you can see the fireworks, and if you're lucky enough, you can ask when you check in, can we have a fireworks view? But we typically don't.
Well, the other thing about Bonnet Creek, Tony, and also I want to mention that they have the main hotel. So you don't have to go through, renting a timeshare. If you just want to go for 2 days, they actually have a hotel on property, and you could still use all of the pools, all the restaurants.
It's called Wyndham Grand. Wyndham Grand at Bonnet Creek. So that's the name of the hotel, and that hotel does have a resort fee, and I think they charge for parking. But the timeshare does not have a resort fee and does not charge for parking. So that goes back to what we were talking about before. You said about not being able to find a parking space. Wyndham is another place where in the morning, there's no trouble finding parking. In the afternoon, there's no trouble finding parking. But if you come back at night, you might have trouble finding parking. And I had the same experience when I stayed at Buena Vista Suites, which is why I recommend doing what we do. Take your car during the day, come back in the afternoon, and Uber at night, because don't move your car once you get a spot.
Yeah, that's why Uber, we really utilize Uber and Lyft now. It's like Brenda said, it's just cheap. It's cheap. And we usually try to order the XL too when we go, just to get like a bigger car.
Yeah. It's hard though for people who have kids who need
Yeah.
car seats and stuff. I think that's the trickiest
Yeah,
part.
it is. Yeah.
But if you have your own car and back to the theming, the Disney theming, at the Berkeley, they had inflatable Mickey and Minnie Christmas theme things in the lobby when we were for Christmas, and they have a movie theater where they show Disney movies every day.
Nice.
And you could actually see the New Year's Eve fireworks from our balcony. I think it would depend on what unit you were in to be able to. But I think it kind of varies. We stayed at a place. We got stranded. Gosh, what was it? 2016. There was a blizzard. We like I said, we drive, and so we got stuck in Florida. And so sad, had to stay in Disney for 2 more days because we couldn't get home. But we were staying at Art of Animation, and rather than adding days onto our reservation there, we stayed off-site at a Best Western or something. But they had Mickey waffles, and they had some Mickey. I think the closer you get to Disney, the more Disney theming there is in the lobby. And you're not going to see Mickey Mouse at breakfast, but I think they try to add some little Disney touches. And even the condos have some Disney themed rooms. The one we stayed in February had a Frozen themed room for the girls.
Right.
So I think
if that's important to you and you're looking for an off-site house, when you look online, you would send me that one. That's a Harry Potter
right.
theme.
Yeah, I know.
That somebody has done. Yeah. So
they do. Some of them do a really great job of theming the rooms.
Well, the majority of their clientele has got to be people going to Disney.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
That's cute.
All right.
Yeah, I will. Go ahead.
It's okay.
It's Gavin's
At
minute.
least he has a shirt on. If Michael comes over now, Michael's
Gavin's minute, and this is
Gavin's
minute.
Gavin's minute is not as entertaining as Michael's minute.
I don't know. He said yes, it is.
Yeah.
All right. Well, did anybody have anything else they wanted to add to the conversation?
I love staying off site, so
Dave likes
it.
I like it more and more.
Yeah, I was one of those people that loved the bubble when we first started going a lot. I was all about the bubble, but once I started staying offsite a little bit more, I don't know.
Well, the other thing too is that we used to stay in the value resort for like $75 or $78 a night. That has gone up. I mean, so you're talking a totally different price range right now for a value resort. So
especially Pop Century
and parking now. So
since Pop Century has the Skyliner, it's hard to find a room there for less than $2 a night.
I really think it comes down to how often you go. If you're going to go once a year or once every 2 years, I would say absolutely stay on site. Make use of the extra magic hours. Get the dining plan if you want to have all of the dining experiences. But if you're able to go more often, I really do think you can stretch your money and make 4 trips instead of 2, or 2 trips instead of 1 in a year, even if you don't live in Florida, by staying off site. And for us, I really have always been the go, open to close, use all the extra magic hours, go early, stay late, do all of the extra things. But
I don't even know how. Oh my gosh.
having the AP for the year has been a really great experience, because thinking that we were going to be able to go a lot, knowing that we had more eased off a little bit and have felt more comfortable doing some offsite, because we knew that every time we went, it wasn't going to be a once in a lifetime thing. We were going to come back. And so we didn't, but even staying off site, we've still gotten to do all of our favorites. I mean, we did Rise of the Resistance on New Year's Eve.
Wow.
And we always drop Flight of Passage, because it's my absolute favorite thing to do. And you don't have to stay on site to do that. You just have to wake up at a little, maybe half an hour earlier than you normally would. So you can still do all of the things when you stay off site if you have a good plan.
And it can be a more relaxing vacation
it really can.
because you're not doing the go, 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 go.
Right.
Yes. Right.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, I still go quite a bit, but you know.
No, you don't say.
I'll tell you, if we wind up going back to the hotel in the afternoon for a break, half the time we don't go back out at night.
Yeah.
We just look at each other, and this is my kids too. They're like, no, we'll stay in tonight. So I don't know. And maybe that's because we go
so often.
We go more often. That's
right. We have that luxury.
right.
Yeah.
Right. So that's why I don't know.
I have a hard time.
Morning to night.
If we go back for a nap and no one wants to get up and go back, I just glare at everyone and make them feel bad. And so
I probably did that in the beginning.
Yeah, we did.
I probably did that in the beginning. Like, what?
Well, and I will say that is one benefit of staying on site is, you know, when we were staying at Bay Lake Tower, if nobody wanted to go back out, I could go by myself. I didn't have to drive anywhere. I could just get on the monorail and go to Epcot if I felt like it. And so that is one downside is that when you're off site, you kind of have to do everything all together, unless you want to Uber by yourself, which is a little bit more of a production. But yeah, that is one. And so that might push me in the direction of just staying on site more often because my family they can't hang.
Well, for me now, Dominic is 16. He's going to be 17. And we are at the point now where we're comfortable with him going off on his own more. And staying on site lends itself to that. One day he wanted to go to Epcot. He loves to explore World Showcase. And we were staying at Art of Animation. So he just got on the Skyliner and went. I don't know that we'd be able to do that if we were staying off site. You know, Michael and I went to Magic Kingdom instead. And so that's one thing.
The transportation does add a little bit of a hiccup to all of it. But, you know, when you compare it to the money savings, I don't know. It's everybody's always weighing all of the different factors. But and I really have always been an on-site girl. I mean, I like to be in the bubble. I like staying on site, but I don't know, when you look at the math and know that you can go 3 times instead of just that one time, it's a pretty strong selling point.
Yeah, that's what comes down for us too. So.
And for us, we're really resting our heads. We get to Orlando early Saturday morning and hit the park. So it's whenever we get back to the hotel, sleep, and we're up Sunday and at the park. That's it. So yeah.
All right.
Yep.
Well, Brenda, thank you so much for joining us tonight. I know it was
Thank you, guys. No, it was great. Thank you guys for inviting me to join you.
Anytime.
You really, I mean, I know that everybody's had a hard time and we've all canceled trips and changed plans, but you guys have really kept all of us going, and I really do appreciate everything that you do. You are really wonderful and just such a bright spot every day with the picture posts and every week with the podcast. And it's really a special treat to come on tonight and share my thoughts, and I appreciate you asking me.
Oh, thank you so much.
I love you guys.
That was so sweet.
We appreciate all of you. Thank you so much, Brenda.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right.
You could find Brenda. She's a member of the Friends of the Disney Crush. And if you join the Friends of the Disney Crush, you can learn more about her and talk to her and maybe ask her for some opinions on some of the places she's talked about tonight.
Yep.
All right, guys. The podcast comes out tomorrow night, right, Dave?
Podcast comes out tomorrow night. That's right.
Yep. All right. Yep. I don't remember what we talked about. Oh, Disney Myths and Legends.
Fun.
Yeah.
And we forgot The Wizard of Braz. That was the name of the. When you listen tomorrow, did you cut that out, Dave? Or?
Yeah, I edited that out. That's okay.
Oh
well.
It's okay.
We'll talk about it next week. Then.
You just said it, so they'll know what we're talking about now.
Wizard of Braz.
Yeah.
I can't wait to listen.
Okay.
No one knows what we're talking about. But.
All right.
I know.
Good night.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.